everyone! So I feel like it has been forever since I actually sat down and spoke to you guys properly, and I think it has been at least a month, but probably more. I genuinely can't remember the last time I filmed a video like this. But today's video is something I'm so excited about, and I'm in a good mood today anyway, so I thought I would just sit down and tell you guys finally. So I have mentioned it primarily in my weekly vlogs, so if you don't watch those you won't know, but my boyfriend and I are moving in together this year. We will have been together for 2 years in July, and he is a little bit older than me. He is 6 years older than me. So in August he will turn 27 and I will turn 21, and we both still live with our parents, which is fine, but it's getting to the point where he wanted to get his foot on the property ladder, I suppose, and having lived away at university for 2 years, I was also itching to be back in my own space and have that little bit of independence again, because those of you who have moved away from home and then moved back, you know that you still don't get treated like an adult, you get treated like a child by your parents forever. So I would really like my own space. So we started looking at houses around the town that I live in, purely because they are cheaper and bigger. So the town that he lives in, we could afford a 1-bedroom flat, which would be disgusting and in a really horrible part of the town, but that was the best we could afford. But where I live, we can afford a 3-bedroom house with a garden in a relatively okay area, so it was no contest really. We found a house pretty quickly, like one that we really liked, and there was a lot of potential, and my boyfriend put an offer down on it and it was accepted the same day. So obviously we got really excited and we got ahead of ourselves and started planning everything, and unfortunately before they did the survey they found out that the house was actually made of concrete, and that is quite common in ex-council areas. So back when the council estates were built, they needed a lot of houses in a short space of time, so the houses were made of like metal, like rods almost, with concrete, and they used to call them pop-up houses. And unfortunately those sorts of houses can end up with a lot of problems later down the line, because the metal inside starts to rot and then the concrete crumbles, and obviously you do not want your house to crumble down. So that was a worry for us, and then the lender that was lending my boyfriend his mortgage pulled out, because they don't lend money on those sorts of houses. So we were absolutely gutted, and this all happened in February, I think. We were absolutely gutted because we really loved the house and we thought it had a lot of potential, but it was a blessing in disguise really. Basically, when you have the budget that we have, you have to be prepared to buy a house that needs fixing up, because all of the houses we saw were awful inside. But anyway, so we decided to go for the one that was near a lot of my family. Basically this particular house, you can step outside of the street and I can see my nan's house across the field, so that kind of was a winner for me, the fact that it's so near my nan. My granddad lives a few streets away in the opposite direction, and my mum's sister, so my auntie, lives about 2 minutes down the road in another direction, so a lot of my family live there. We went to see it and we put an offer in. I really did not like the inside, I really didn't like it. I still don't, it's horrible, and the small bedroom is very small, but again my boyfriend really saw the potential in it, and at the end of the day he is the one buying it, so it was his call on whether he put an offer in, and he wanted to, so we did, and it was accepted. And there were a few little bumps along the way, but the long story short, even though I know that I still gave you the long story, is that we now have our house. Today is Wednesday the 13th of May. I actually finished university today, by the way. It was my last exam this morning, so that was great. But the contracts for the house were exchanged yesterday, as far as I'm aware. And I have told you guys that, you know, my boyfriend's bought a house and we're moving, but I haven't really gone into any detail because obviously the first house that we went for, it all fell through, so I didn't want to talk about it in detail and then have to be like, yeah, it fell through again, because it's just so disappointing when that happens. Hopefully now though, because the contracts have all been exchanged, we are just waiting for our completion date, which means that hopefully nothing else will go wrong now, and my next moving vlog will be me showing you the house, possibly. I've already had a few people asking me where I'm going to be moving to, so I just want to clear that up now. I am not going to give any of you my address. I'm not going to tell you the town that I live in. Some of you have actually seen me out and about and come up and said hello to me, or you've messaged me afterwards to say that you've seen me, which is lovely, so those of you will know where I live. Some of you know where I go to, well, where I went to university. I'm not going to obviously say in a video. I will be still living in the same town, just a different part of it, because the town that I live in is exceptionally big. I'm just going to be living in a different part of it, and coincidentally I actually went to infant school in this particular part of my town, so it's really nostalgic every time I go there and I'm so excited. So I'll tell you a little bit about the house. It is 3 bedrooms. There's only 1 bathroom unfortunately, but eventually we would like to put a downstairs toilet in, and then downstairs it has a kitchen dining room, a living room, and then it has a large lean-to / conservatory on the back out into the back garden. The garden is an okay size, there's only 2 of us so it doesn't really matter, and then it has a large brick outbuilding in the garden which is going to be for the bunnies. Outside the house there is a very large field which will be perfect if we ever get a dog, because eventually I would like to get a dog, and there's a park and everything is within walking distance. I can walk into town, there's like a paper shop up the road, the cinema, the ice rink, the swimming pool, bingo, it's all within walking distance, so I'm so excited. The house does need a lot of work, but I will go into that more when I actually start showing you the house. And one last thing is that I won't be showing you the house from outside, because the houses are quite distinctive and I think people who live in the area would definitely be able to guess where I live. So I won't be showing you the house from outside, but I will show you the garden and the outbuilding, and I'm hopefully going to be filming the entire progress from beginning to end of us doing up this house, because it's the first time that either my boyfriend and I have done it. It's our first home together and I want to document it, so I'm hopefully going to be filming it in a series of vlogs. Now that I've finished university, depending on how busy I am, I'm not sure whether the moving vlogs will take over from the weekly vlogs, but it just depends like if and when we have the money to do things to show you, so I'm not sure yet, but all I do know is that I'm very excited, and I'm very excited for you guys to follow me in this next chapter, because I have been making videos now since 2009 and some of you have stuck around from the very beginning, and you have seen me, you know, as a 13-year-old talking about her pet rabbits, to my first heartbreak, to going to university, and now I've finished university and I'm just moving on to this new part in my life, and I'm just so excited to share it with you. So I hope you'll come along with me. I hope you're excited. If there's anything in particular you want me to film, or anything about the house you want to ask me about, please do leave your comments below, or if you have any other video requests, and I will see you next time. Bye!